What's good, everybody? It's your boy Hockey, and today we're gonna be reacting to how Trippie Redd unalived 6ix9ine's girlfriend on camera. Now, I'm assuming this is clickbait. I did hear that 6ix9ine's girlfriend did pass away or was unalive, but I have no idea if it is Trippie Redd. But if so, that is fucking crazy. Let's get straight into the video though, and don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment, subscribe. It helps your boy out a lot. We're trying to grow the channel, and we're gonna keep pushing out this content for y'all. Let's go.
On August 17th, 2025, 6ix9ine's girlfriend was gunned down outside.
He had him a little bad. I remember I seen that clip too in a Mac Mula video. That's crazy, bro. That was in Chicago, bro. Some dude just walked in a gas station and just started upping shit.
Talk about, bro. I want to talk about how you were in New York. You were supposed to pull up.
And the rumors might not be so far off, because new footage just surfaced showing how Trippie may have orchestrated the entire hit. I've got the receipts, so let's
the fact that you don't like somebody so much, you get their
Trippie Redd and 6ix9ine looks
you get their girlfriend popped is crazy.
Trippie, in an act of ultimate payback, had a hand in taking out 6ix9ine's girl.
She was shot and killed in New York, I believe yesterday, the other day. Leaving outside of the club, sitting in her car, a gunman murdered her.
But before we get into Trippie Redd's
the
footage that links him to it, let me paint you a picture of who Ariela Langosta really was. This wasn't just some random chick trying to clout chase off a controversial rapper. This was a real woman with a real life, real dreams, and real people who loved her. Ariela was a popular figure in New York's nightlife, with over 556,000 Instagram followers. Born in the Dominican Republic, she had grinded her way up in the Big Apple, working as a bartender while building her influencer career. Homegirl was known for her vibrant personality and her connections within the entertainment industry.
Yeah, she must have said she looked like a vibe to be around.
She wasn't just posting thirst traps on the gram. Ariela was actually putting in work. She worked at Icon New York Lounge in Manhattan's Washington Heights neighborhood and Starlets of New York and Queens. Her colleagues described her as joyful, humble, and caring. This was a woman who was building something for herself, not just living off someone else's fame. But let's keep it real. Her association with Tekashi 6ix9ine definitely put her in a different category of visibility. The relationship between Ariela and 6ix9ine
one of the big. I almost say one of the biggest. I'm not gonna say one of the biggest. You're dealing with a huge troll that has issues with everyone.
6ix9ine's rumored girlfriend, former girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend, with the relationship reportedly being short-lived or casual.
Bro. That shit, we gotta stop with these BBLs. That shit was disgusting,
what
nigga.
We know for sure
she got a saggy diaper ass, gang. We gotta stop this shit, gang. Y'all out here 25 with 45-year-old grandma asses, gang. Like this shit out of hand, bro. Just go to the gym and hit some squats. Work on your legs, man. Do something.
Bartending job at popular venues put her in contact with celebrities, and that's likely how she first crossed paths with Daniel Hernandez. Here's where it gets interesting though. Multiple reports confirm that Ariela appeared in several of 6ix9ine's music videos and accompanied him on trips. But when she died, 6ix9ine publicly called her his sister in emotional tributes posted on Instagram, writing phrases like, "There is no heart more beautiful." Now, some of y'all might be wondering why this relationship matters so much in the context of what happened to her. Well, when you're dealing with someone like 6ix9ine, a man who has more enemies than a Marvel villain, anyone
I'm about to say, this nigga is an Avengers level threat in the hip-hop community. Everyone wanted to have smoke with him at one point, bro.
Because of his rainbow hair and loud mouth. This man has a history that reads like a crime novel. In 2019, he testified against members of the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods gang during his federal racketeering.
Yo, this nigga was
the snitch label that follows him everywhere he goes. When you snitch in the streets, that mark doesn't
nigga
just
smiling at the motherfucking camera after snitching is diabolical.
Romantic interests, they all become potential targets for retaliation.
Yeah,
it's a harsh reality of the game that 6ix9ine
that's how the streets work, bro.
To cooperate
that shit sad as fuck, man, but that's how it is, man.
Some people say this get back for Tekashi 6ix9ine.
The speculation that Ariela's death might be connected to street ties or beefs associated with 6ix9ine isn't just internet chatter. It's based on the very real dangers that come with being in that man's orbit. But here's what makes Ariela's story even more tragic. She wasn't just caught up in 6ix9ine's drama. Some reports suggest she was involved with another man, Nada Cartier, at the time of her death. This cat is described as a suspected gang leader or criminal figure who entered the U.S. irregularly and has a prior record in the Dominican Republic. So now we're
I'm about to say, play it back. He kind of looked like a criminal.
This cat
that nigga looked
like look with another man, not a Cartier.
Yo, YouTube, I'm not so far, big bro. The yerk just kicked in, bro. Let me chill out. Not, this nigga. Oh my god. Yo, this guy, like, if you played GTA 4, this guy looks like he would be in one of the missions, and he would be like, you would meet him at like a fucking deli or something, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I need you to go whack this motherfucker for me, man." Like, this nigga looks crazy. I bet he is an immigrant.
At the time
No
of the death.
racial,
This cat is
gang.
described as a
No
suspected
racial.
gang leader or criminal figure
I have
who
no
entered the
problem.
US
I love
irregularly
everybody. No,
and has a
I'm
prior
just
record in
saying.
the Dominican
It
Republic.
just
So
nigga
now we're
looks like
looking
a
at
criminal,
woman
bro.
who was
Nigga look
potentially caught
dangerous.
between multiple dangerous situations. Her past association with a known snitch and her current involvement with someone who might have been the real target of whatever went down that night. The more you dig into Ariela's story, the more you realize she was a real person trying to navigate a dangerous world. She was described as charismatic and supportive, often collaborating with artists and promoting brands. She had dreams, ambitions, and people who cared about her. But in the world of hip-hop beef and street politics, sometimes
don't
being
matter,
in the
bro.
wong place at the wrong time,
Like,
or
we
knowing
done
the
seen a
wrong
lot of
can
people
cost
that
you
got
everything.
got
And that's
smoked
exactly
just for
what
hanging
happened to
around
Ariela
somebody, bro.
Langosta on
Like,
that
it
fateful
happens all
night
the
in
time,
August
bro. It's sad as
2025.
shit, but it
So how
happens
does
all the
Trippie
time.
Redd tie into all of this? To understand why so many are pointing
Yeah, the
fingers
yard
at
was
him in
beating my ass,
connection with
I ain't gonna lie.
Ariela's death, you've got to
Fighting
see
my
the bigger
demons right now.
picture, the full scope of this feud, and just how deep the hatred between
Trippie
these
was
two really
geeked
goes.
in that interview, bro.
The beef that started it
Lord.
all, Trippie versus Tekashi. The relationship between Trippie Redd and 6ix9ine began as a friendship and collaboration, but quickly devolved into one of
Into a
hip-hop's
beef.
most publicized beefs. Back in early 2017, these cats were actually cool with each other. They released joint tracks like Poles 1469 and
And I'm not gonna lie, that was a good song, and I still think that's a good song.
Both these dudes were signed to the same label, Strange
I didn't know that.
Music,
I
and
didn't
that's
know
where
that.
the problem started brewing underneath the surface.
Because remember, me and fucking Fred is on the same label, so he was supposed to blow up before me.
The label was putting all their money and resources
Tekashi.
behind Trippie, expecting him to be the breakout star.
Oh,
But when
never mind.
6ix9ine's Gummo started taking off, everything changed.
So they were putting all the money into him, and the fact that when Gummo took off, the streets went crazy. Like, they fell in love with Gummo.
They really
and
did.
Like, to the label, I became the priority, and they benched Trippie, and they put me ahead, and it just felt so good.
Everything was going smooth until August 2017, when some serious allegations came to light that would change everything. Court documents and social media posts from rapper Zillakami accused 6ix9ine of sexual misconduct with a 13-year-old girl in 2015, to which he had pleaded guilty. This wasn't just some internet rumor. This was a documented court case where 6ix9ine had pleaded guilty to use of a child in a sexual performance back in 2015. When this information hit the streets, Trippie had to make a choice, and he chose his morals over money. Trippie publicly distanced himself from 6ix9ine, posting on Instagram, "I'm sorry, brose, 1400 don't promote pedophiles." He called their association an accident and made it crystal clear that he couldn't work with someone involved in that type of situation.
I remember that,
The
and I
situation went
respect
from rap
that
beef
a
to
lot.
real street shit real quick. In November
real
2017,
quick.
Trippie Redd was ambushed in a New York hotel by members of 6ix9ine's crew. This wasn't just some random scuffle either. This was a planned attack. What happened next took this beef from social media drama to real street shit. The subliminals and Instagram posts escalated into something much more dangerous, actual gang politics and violence. Both artists had gang affiliations that
I remember his ex, bro. I think her name was like
6ix9ine
Elite
aligned
or
with
something
the
like that.
Trey Gangsta Bloods in 2017 for street credibility, while he later claimed Trippie was affiliated with the rival 5'9" Brims gang. Then in November 2017, got really real. Trippie claimed on Instagram Live that 6ix9ine's crew jumped him in the lobby of a New York hotel, describing how he was punched in the mouth by 9 Trey affiliates.
Bro had waiting for me at my hotel. Some 9 Trey. As soon as I walk in the building, hit right in my mouth.
Damn, they
hit in my mouth.
socked him in this shit.
Then my beat his niggas ass and then they ran.
But here's where it gets even crazier. Years later, during 6ix9ine's federal trial, he testified that he actually ordered the hotel attack on Trippie Redd, admitting to following Trippie's van and orchestrating the assault. This wasn't just some random street beef. This was calculated, premeditated violence.
He
After the
admitted
physical
to all this?
altercation, both artists shifted into
They must have gave him a
psychological
good
warfare
ass
mode.
plea
They
deal.
understood that in the social media age, destroying someone's reputation and credibility could be more devastating than any physical assault. 6ix9ine started targeting everything about
real.
Trippie,
You
His authenticity,
you
his
get
street
exposed
cred,
too
and
bad on
most
the internet one
importantly, his
time, gang,
personal
your dead ass is
relationship.
over.
In April 2018, 6ix9ine
Damn.
accused Trippie of having
Yeah, the
sexual
pounds just
relations with
chilling on the
underage
couch.
rapper Bod Bobby, though both denied it, with Bod Bobby later admitting only to a kiss when Trippie was 17. Meanwhile, Trippie was throwing shots back, questioning
I believe,
6ix9ine's authenticity and
bro.
calling him out for
I'm
using
not gonna say
gang
no on
members
that.
for protection.
I ain't even gonna speak
In
on
May
that. I ain't gonna speak on
2018,
that.
Trippie posted on
He probably
Instagram
did,
claiming
though.
he
But
deserved
it's
credit for 6ix9ine's success, saying without him, 6ix9ine wouldn't have Billboard hits. The beef reached another level when Trippie decided to team up with some serious heavy hitters for a diss track. Released on June 1st, 2018,
which
I
one was
Kill
this one?
People featured Trippie Redd alongside Tato and Chief Keef and was an explicit diss aimed at 6ix9ine.
I don't
But 6ix9ine
remember
wasn't
this.
having it. He clapped back in the most savage way possible, calling Trippie a hypocrite for the whole collaboration.
I remember when Trippie made that lie up in that room up saying, yo, I can't support no pedophiles and I'll surround myself with that. He lied. Now he over here making a song with somebody that beat a girl.
6ix9ine was pointing out that Trippie
Oh,
claimed he
shit.
couldn't work with people who hurt women, but then made a song with Tadu, who had been accused of domestic violence. The streets were watching, and 6ix9ine was scoring points in this war of words.
I remember
He later
this
posted a video
because the
dancing
whole thing
mockingly
about it
to
was
I Kill
even though
People,
Trippie, like
turning
the whole
offense into a
thing,
joke.
6ix9ine, you could never win an
By mid-2018, both
argument with
artists
this
were
nigga.
locked in a toxic cycle of trying
because
to
he was
outdo
just
each other's level of
trolling the
disrespect.
shit out
They
of
had crossed
everyone. He was
every
out
line,
trolling
bringing up
everyone.
criminal
Like
cases,
even
making
after he
accusations
snitched,
about
he was
underage
out trolling
situations
everyone.
involving
Like it was
gang
the funniest
politics
shit
and
ever.
orchestrating physical violence. But
This is
6ix9ine
crazy.
had something else cooking.
This bringing
In
me back, bro. This is fucking
Trippie
crazy.
Redd broke up with his girlfriend Alex, and he actually
yeah.
predicted on Instagram that she would end up with 6ix9ine, calling her out for thoting, being promiscuous. This was the perfect setup for what would become the most devastating and calculated revenge plot in hip-hop
And
history.
that's literally
6ix9ine
what
saw
happened.
an opportunity to hit Trippie where it would hurt the most: his pride, his reputation, and his manhood. All he needed was patience and the perfect moment to strike. Y'all know how petty rap beef can get, especially when egos and emotions are involved. But 6ix9ine took
and
the
that
pettiness
clout get
to a whole
involved,
new
man.
level when
Once
he
that
decided
clout get
to go
involved,
after
shit get
Trippie's
real
personal
serious. Cause
relationships.
cut is
In
a
October
crazy
2018,
drug.
6ix9ine posted videos and
Yeah.
photos in bed with Trippie's ex-girlfriend Alec Dollar, taunting him. This wasn't just about getting back at Trippie musically. This was about humiliating him on the most personal level possible. The video showed 6ix9ine and Alec Dollar singing Trippie's songs while in bed together, with 6ix9ine claiming he had slept with her. It was pure disrespect, designed to hurt Trippie where it would sting the most.
The fact
his
that
pride
she
and
let
his
herself
manhood.
do that
Here's what
though,
makes
just
this relevant to
I feel like
Ariela's
Trippie
story.
won that
6ix9ine
one.
has a pattern of using women as weapons in his beefs. He doesn't just go after his enemies directly, he goes after the people they care about. It's a psychological warfare tactic that shows just how far this man is willing to go to hurt his opponents. But behind the trolling, the tension was real. 6ix9ine testified
they
that he
die
wanted
a
something done
fucking
about
dog,
Trippie
bro?
Redd due to the beef.
Yeah,
including
somebody lock
ordering
him up.
attacks in response to the diss track. The dynamic of this beef completely shifted in 2019 when 6ix9ine was arrested on federal racketeering charges and decided to cooperate with authorities. He testified against gang associates and provided information that led to convictions. This snitching didn't just earn 6ix9ine a reduced sentence, it made him a marked man in the hip-hop community and the streets. But it also meant that anyone who had beef with him now had to be careful about how they moved, because he had shown he was willing to tell on people to save himself. For Trippie, this created a complicated situation. On one hand, 6ix9ine's cooperation with law enforcement had essentially validated everything Trippie had said about him being untrustworthy and lacking street credibility. But on the other hand, it meant that 6ix9ine was now even more dangerous in a different way. He was a federal informant with nothing to lose. Even after 6ix9ine was released from prison in 2020, the beef between him and Trippie continued to simmer. In 2023, Trippie taunted 6ix9ine over album sales on social media, showing that the animosity was still very much alive. But here's what makes this beef different from typical rap feuds. It's not just about music or competition anymore. It's about deeply personal violations, betrayals, and a level of hatred that has festered for years.
I mean,
When
bro,
6ix9ine humiliated
why'd you
Trippie
do that
with
to his
ex-girlfriend,
ex-gang?
when he ordered physical attacks, when he involved gang members in federal cases, all of that created a foundation of animosity that goes way beyond normal rap beef. This is the kind of hatred that makes people want revenge. This is the kind of beef that makes people think about long-term payback. And when you combine that level of personal
Y'all gotta
animosity
remember
with the
though, this
dangerous
nigga
world
really
these
had
cats
niggas in a
operate
chokehold, and it
creates a
was
situation where anything can
ridiculous.
happen.
Like
What's
I'm,
particularly disturbing
it's kind
about
of
this
crazy.
beef
This
is how
nigga
it
was
has
really just trolling
consistently
niggas.
escalated over the years. It started with words, moved to physical violence, involved personal relationships, included death threats, and has now potentially culminated in an actual death. Some associates even allege that parts of the beef were staged for publicity, but the violence and consequences have been very real. Whether or not some moments were
they got a whole lot
manufactured
of
for The
whole lot
hatred
of
and
views for
desire
all
for
this, bro.
revenge that developed was genuine. This brings us to the tragic night when
Yeah.
Ariela Langosta lost
There's
her
no
life,
way, there's
and why
no way.
some people in the
This
streets
better be
believe that
clickbait.
Trippie Redd's long-standing hatred for 6ix9ine might have finally found its ultimate expression. The night everything changed. Death, speculation, and accusations. Now we come to the heart of this whole tragic story. The night of August 17th, 2025, when Ariela Langosta's life was cut short, and the aftermath that has the hip-hop world pointing fingers and making accusations that could change everything. On August 17, 2025, Ariela was reportedly shot and killed in the New York area under circumstances widely reported as a fatal shooting. But here's where this story gets complicated as hell. The details surrounding her death are conflicting, confusing, and filled with the kind of street politics that make real investigations damn near impossible. The official story is that Ariela was found deceased in a vehicle, with authorities investigating her death as suspicious. But depending on which source you believe, this incident happened in different locations and under different circumstances.
Really?
Some reports placed the shooting on the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon, where she was found in a disabled vehicle around 8 a.m. Other reports connect her death to a mass shooting at Taste of the City Lounge in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, where 3 people were killed and 10 injured around 3:27 a.m. The confusion around the basic facts of what happened that night isn't accidental. It's the kind of chaos that happens when street goes down and nobody wants to talk to the police. In the absence of clear facts, the streets started filling in the blanks with their own theories. And some of these theories point directly at the long-standing beef between Trippie Redd and 6ix9ine as a potential motive.
Really
Multiple
think
sources
it
report
would be,
that
though.
Ariela was with Nada Cartier, described as a suspected gang leader or her man, when the shooting happened. The theory here is that the gunfire was aimed at him, and Ariela was just caught in the crossfire.
That
Some
makes
people
sense,
ain't
too.
buying that explanation. One of the
That
most
makes a lot of
persistent
sense,
theories
though.
circulating is that Ariela was targeted due to her association with 6ix9ine, with speculation that it could be linked to his enemies seeking retaliation. When you're dealing with a known snitch who has made enemies of entire gangs and multiple rappers, anyone close to him becomes a potential target. But here's where it gets really wild. Some people in the streets are whispering that this wasn't random retaliation against 6ix9ine's associates. They're saying this was something more personal, more calculated, and more connected to the specific beef between Trippie and Tekashi. Now, let me be clear from the jump. There is no credible evidence or widespread reports linking Trippie Redd directly to Ariela's death. The searches across multiple sources returned 0 direct connections or rumors that have any substance behind them. But that hasn't stopped people from speculating. And when you
of
understand
course
the
not,
history
bro.
and
It's the
psychology
internet.
of
They gonna
this
be like-
beef, you can see why some folks' minds are going there.
Did he
Think
just
about
eat
it from
the
this
ice cream?
perspective. Trippie Redd has been humiliated by 6ix9ine in the most personal ways possible. He's been physically attacked, had his ex-girlfriend used as a weapon against him, and been taunted for years by someone he clearly despised.
She must have
The
got a
beef has
bag for that,
consistently
bro.
escalated over
She
the years,
definitely must
moving
have got a
from
bag
words
for
to
that.
physical violence to death threats. 6ix9ine has a pattern of using women as weapons in his beefs. He did it with Trippie's ex-girlfriend Alec Dollar, and he's done it with other people's romantic interests. So when someone close to 6ix9ine ends up
What a
dead,
fucking
and that
troll,
person is a
bro.
woman who was important to him, some people immediately think about
Hey, gang, aren't
the
those
theory,
fake
if you
Versace
can even call
glasses?
it
I do
that,
not
goes
think those are
something
real
like
Versace
this.
glasses.
Trippie
I
has
do
been
fuck with
waiting
the
for right
OF
moment to
shirt,
get
though.
6ix9ine
That's fire.
back for all the humiliation and violence over the years. Instead of going after 6ix9ine directly, which would be risky and obvious, he decided to hurt him in the same way 6ix9ine hurt him, by targeting someone he cared about. What makes this theory particularly disturbing to some people is the timing and the apparent emotional impact on 6ix9ine. When Ariela died, 6ix9ine shared devastating posts on Instagram, including photos and captions mourning her loss. This wasn't just some casual associate, this was someone who clearly meant something to him. 6ix9ine called her his sister and credited her with emotional support during his legal troubles and career lows. The pain in his tributes was obvious and real, which means if someone
Cause for some people, bro, like girls, you know what I'm saying, you might fuck them a few times, you know, this is just how things is. I'm gonna get a little deep real quick. Not even deep, but like, you might have sex a few times. Y'all might build a relationship. Not as in like a romantic like boyfriend girlfriend relationship, but I just been like build like a relationship. Like y'all get to know each other. Y'all make memories and shit like that. And some people you can trust and like vent to. So that's probably who that was. You know what I'm saying? Because they probably dated. It didn't work out for different reasons or whatnot. And then he still respected her because she was somebody that he could open up to and shit like that. But honestly, that's about all I really need to know about the video. Video is pretty good. I don't think Trippie Redd did this, to be honest. It would be crazy if he did. Who knows? We might see some information 2-3 months down the line. But yeah, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, your boy Hockey is out.